Your child's evaluation report says level 2 autism. No one explained what that means. Is it a diagnosis inside a diagnosis? Is it about intelligence? Is it permanent? Today, we're breaking down exactly what autism levels measure, what they don't measure, and why understanding them can change how you support your child, starting right now. Tom sits at the kitchen table, lining up his crayons by color. Sarah watches, smiling. A piece of paper on the counter says level 2, a word she didn't understand 3 years ago. Today, she finally does. When Tom was diagnosed, the doctor used a word alongside autism, a number, 1, 2, or 3. Parents hear this number and panic. What does it mean? Is my child's life already decided? The answer is more hopeful than you think. Here's the first thing to understand. Autism levels are not a ranking of how bad autism is. They are not a score of intelligence, personality, or worth. They measure one specific thing: how much support a person needs in specific situations. The autism spectrum isn't a straight line from mild to severe. Picture it more like a color wheel, with each autistic person showing a unique blend of strengths, challenges, sensitivities, and communication styles. Levels describe support needs within that picture, not a single point on a ruler. The DSM-5, the manual clinicians use for diagnosis, defines 3 levels. They apply to 2 areas only: social communication and restricted or repetitive behaviors. That's it. Nothing about intelligence, nothing about kindness, creativity, or potential. Just support in 2 specific domains. Let's start with level 1, requiring support. Picture a boy at school who has friends but struggles reading unspoken social cues: when to change topics, when someone's bored. He speaks fluently, but organizing his day without reminders is hard. Children at level 1 often mask well. They may seem just quirky to teachers, but underneath, they're working twice as hard to keep up socially. Without support, this hidden effort can lead to anxiety, exhaustion, or burnout by the end of every school day. Lily has a classmate like this. Bright, funny, but easily overwhelmed by group projects. With a little support, a checklist, a quiet corner, a patient partner, he thrives. That's level 1 in real life. Capable, but needing a scaffold, not a rescue. Now, level 2. Requiring substantial support. This is closer to Tom's world. Communication is more limited. Tom speaks only a little, often using actions instead of full sentences. Routines matter deeply to him. Change, even small change, can be very hard. Sarah remembers the first time Tom's morning routine shifted. A different cereal bowl. Tom froze, covered his ears, and cried for 10 minutes. To Sarah, it was just a bowl. To Tom's brain, it was the whole world changing without warning. At level 2, support isn't optional extra help. It's essential daily structure. Visual schedules, predictable routines, and sensory tools aren't spoiling a child. They are the accommodations that let a level 2 child access learning, connection, and calm. Michael learned this on a construction site, of all places. Workers wear ear protection near loud machines. Nobody calls that weakness. Tom's noise-canceling headphones work the same way. Support isn't a crutch. It's the right tool for a real physical need. Tom communicates mostly through action, pointing, pulling Sarah's hand, showing his drawings instead of describing them. Psychologists call this alternative communication, and it counts. A child doesn't need spoken words to communicate clearly, deeply, and meaningfully with the people who know them. Sensory sensitivity is common at level 2. Tom flinches at loud sounds, squints under bright lights, and avoids certain fabric textures. His nervous system takes in the world at a different volume than ours, sometimes painfully loud, sometimes painfully bright. This is why a meltdown is rarely about defiance. For a level 2 child, it's often a nervous system in overload, unable to filter or process everything coming in at once. Understanding this changes how a parent responds. with patience, not punishment. Now, level 3, requiring very substantial support. At this level, verbal communication may be minimal or absent. Restricted behaviors are more intense and can significantly limit functioning across most environments, home, school, and community, without consistent, hands-on support. A level 3 child may need help with daily tasks most children their age do independently: dressing, eating, moving safely through a room. This isn't a smaller version of level 1. It's a different profile of needs, requiring a different kind of care. Here's something crucial. Level 3 does not mean no inner world. Research consistently shows that limited speech is not the same as limited understanding, emotion, or intelligence. Communication devices and alternative methods have revealed rich, thoughtful minds in non-speaking autistic people again and again. Never assume competence is absent just because it isn't spoken aloud. Many non-speaking autistic individuals, once given tools like letterboards or speech-generating devices, have expressed complex thoughts, humor, and insight that surprised even their closest family members. So why do levels matter at all? Because they help build a support plan. A level 1 child may need social coaching. A level 2 child may need visual schedules and sensory breaks. A level 3 child may need full-time structured support across settings. But here is the part almost no one tells parents. Levels are not permanent tattoos. The DSM itself notes that support needs can change, sometimes with age, sometimes with therapy, sometimes simply with the right environment finally fitting the child. Tom's therapist explained it well to Sarah. Think of the level as today's weather report, not the climate forever. A child can need more support during a hard year and less during a stable one. Reassess. Don't assume it's fixed. Levels can also differ across situations. A child might need substantial support in a loud cafeteria, but very little support in a quiet, one-on-one setting. Context changes everything. That's why levels describe needs, not a fixed personality trait stamped onto a child. A common myth. Level 3 means severe autism. Level 1 means mild autism. So level 1 is better. This framing misses the point entirely. Every level describes a real, valid experience. No level makes a child less whole, less lovable, or less capable of a meaningful life. Another myth. Intelligence and level are the same thing. They are not. A non-speaking level 3 child can be brilliant at math, music, or memory. A fluent level 1 child can still struggle deeply with anxiety or executive function. Levels measure support, never worth. Here's a myth that hurts families the most. If my child needed less support before, I failed them. That's false. Needs shift because brains develop, environments change, and skills grow, not because of anything a parent did wrong. So what should a parent actually do with this number? First, don't let it become a label that predicts your child's future. Use it as a starting point for services, therapy, school accommodations, insurance coverage, not as a life sentence. Second, watch your child, not just the paperwork. Sarah keeps a small notebook of what helps Tom calm down, what overwhelms him, what makes him laugh. That daily, lived knowledge often teaches parents more than any evaluation ever could. Third, build support around strengths, not just deficits. Tom loves drawing. His teacher uses drawing to help him express feelings he can't yet say aloud. Every level of autism comes with real strengths: curiosity, focus, honesty, unique perspective, worth building around. Michael remembers feeling scared the day the level was written on paper. But over time, he realized something. The number didn't change who Tom was. Tom was still the same curious, kind 6-year-old who loved his sister and his crayons. Lily, at 7, doesn't think about levels at all. She just knows her brother needs quiet warnings before loud noises, and that patience with him always pays off in his rare, wide smile. Siblings often understand support intuitively. before they ever hear clinical terms. Professionals reassess levels over time, not to relabel a child, but to update the support plan as they grow. A kindergarten evaluation and a middle school evaluation may look different because the child, their environment, and their needs have all grown too. It's also worth knowing, levels can differ across the two domains they measure. A child might need substantial support for restricted behaviors, but only some support for social communication, or the reverse. The number on paper is often a simplified summary of two separate profiles. Some clinicians and self-advocates raise a valid critique. Levels can flatten a complex person into a single digit. Many prefer describing specific needs directly, needs visual schedules, needs a communication device, rather than a number alone. Both views matter. That's why the best support plans combine the level with specific individual details. Not just level 2, but level 2. Benefits from visual schedules, noise-canceling headphones, and extra transition time. The number opens the door. The details furnish the room. Whatever the level, one truth holds for every autistic child. Connection comes first. Before therapy techniques, before school plans, before any paperwork, a child needs to feel understood, safe, and loved exactly as they are in this moment. Sarah used to grieve the future she imagined before Tom's diagnosis. Now she says something different. I'm not less proud of him. I just understand him better. That shift from fear to understanding is often the real turning point for families. If your child was just given a level, know this: you are not behind. You are not failing. You are learning a new language for understanding your own child. One word, one accommodation, one small victory at a time. Remember, every autistic child, at every level, is a whole person first. Tom is not a level 2 case. He is a 6-year-old who loves dinosaurs, hates loud vacuum cleaners, and lights up completely when his sister reads to him at night. Support needs may be high or low, may shift with age, may look different at school than at home, but the goal never changes: helping each child access the world in the way that fits their brain, not forcing their brain to fit the world. Tonight, Sarah tucks Tom into bed. He points at his drawing on the wall, a family holding hands. He didn't need words to say it. Some of the clearest communication in this house has never used a single spoken sentence. Understanding autism levels isn't about sorting children into boxes. It's about making sure every child, wherever they fall, gets exactly the support that lets them grow, connect, and be understood. Nothing more, nothing less than what they truly need. So the next time you see a number on an evaluation, level 1, 2, or 3, remember, it's not a verdict. It's a starting point, a tool. One page in a much longer, much richer story your child is still writing. And that story, like every child's, deserves patience, curiosity, and love, not fear of a label. Levels change. Support plans change. What never should change is how deeply your child is seen, valued, and believed in. In the end, understanding autism levels gives families something powerful: a shared language with doctors, teachers, and therapists to get the right support faster, and the confidence to know that support needs are not a measure of a child's future. There is real hope here. With the right support at the right level, autistic children across the spectrum learn, connect, communicate, and build meaningful lives, each in their own way, on their own timeline, exactly as they are. Here are 3 practical tips. First, ask for specifics, not just a number. Request concrete supports tied to your child's evaluation, so the level becomes a usable plan instead of an abstract label sitting in a file. Second, reassess regularly, and don't panic if a level shifts either direction. It usually reflects growth and changing environments, not a failure of any kind. Third, build daily life around your child's strengths first, then add support around the challenges. If this helped you understand autism levels a little better, subscribe for more evidence-based, compassionate videos on raising and understanding autistic children, because every child, at every level, deserves to be truly understood.